What up, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy P. Skip. Welcome to the best half hour of your entire Tuesday. You know what time it is. It's time to get into his court. My squad with me, T-Mac.
Hola.
Chili Will.
Gracias, amigo.
Let's do this. We'll get right to it. Luke chapter 8, verse 17 in the New Living the NIV says this. For there's nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. Now, I said that I brought that scripture to light because of what's going on with the Blackhawks right now. The Chicago Blackhawks NHL hockey team, professional hockey team, has a huge sexual scandal involving a former, I think he was one of the coaches, I know that. But this guy have a history of sexually assaulting. First, it was brought to light because he sexually assaulted one of the players. To me, that's kind of odd because I'm going, wait a minute. You're a grown man, and you're being assaulted, and you didn't do nothing about it. That's one. But he did. He went to the other coaches. He went to management, and because they won an NHL championship that same year, they poo-pooed on it. Mm-hmm. And so this guy has a history of sexually assaulting people, going all the way back to high school. He had sexually assaulted some kids in high school. Then it progressed into college and now the pros. And so this has been a major, major, major issue for this guy. And it's been so bad that not only did the NHL step in because they had to, because it started to get out, but they're even the former coach of the Blackhawks, head coach, I think is a coach for the Florida, whoever the new Predators, I think, or whatever their new name is, hockey team, brand new hockey team. He immediately was fired because of what happened in Chicago. And so this is major. It's major, and it's another example of authority that's been used. That stuff has been put disclosing it or hiding it, and now it's been open, and you're seeing just how corrupt this whole system is in hiding what they want to hide and protecting who they want to protect and not taking care of victims. And so this has gotten to a place where, and it's crazy, it's a player by the name of Kyle Beach who said, listen, this cat assaulted me, unwanted sexual advances, and whatever he did, they didn't disclose what he did, but it's definitely he did something that was very, very terrible. And it wasn't just one player. I think it was a couple players he did it to. And so he was on probation, like I said, in high school for 9 months. He did 9 months. No, he did 9 months in jail and then came out and and then had another 2 years of probation. How do you keep getting jobs when this is what you did? So go ahead, Tim. I'll let you get in on it first, man.
All right, sir. First of all, this is very egregious and out of order. Any sort of sexual assault is uncalled for, and the fact that this has, as you just pointed out, been laid out, covered up, for years and years. Now, we understand that grace, sometimes people make mistakes, sometimes people make missteps. But when you have been habitually been in violation of a person's personal space to the point of assaulting, there comes a time where you have to kind of pay the piper, so to speak, and you have to face the consequences of your actions. Now, you did the jail stint, but at the same time, there ought to have been some precautions that teams have taken. And so it brings to mind even another scripture that talks about, pray for those who are in authority, not just in the religious sense, but even those that are in authority in professional sports franchises, in the workplace, etc., so that we can lead a quiet and peaceful life. Now, he had done enough, sounds like to me, having a track record, a habitual offender. Somewhere along the line, you got to draw the line and say, hey, man, you out of order. You need to get some therapy. You need to get some help. But you're going to have to do that away from this professional franchise because you've had too many victims. And we don't want to have a trail of tears, so to speak, with the actions that you have been taking. And as a ball club or the hockey team, even though you won the championship and you didn't want to put a stain on such a glorious moment, you still have to take into account that these are people's lives that we're dealing with. And no matter what the trophy, no matter what the glory, no matter what the hype is and all the, accolades, you're still dealing with the human element. That should be the baseline for whatever you do. So the Blackhawks organization did a disservice to the victims. They did a disservice to this cat who was habitually, sexually assaulting people. And they did a disservice, to the fans who were believing that, hey, if nothing else, we should be able to expect an ethical presentation, an ethical operation from you all. This is a very, very, bad thing. And I think from here on out, there really needs to be a continual exposing of these things that are on this particular level. Now, even if you had a graduated type of penalty, first you get a warning, second you get a this, third you get a that, it sounds like this individual who had been the offender went through all of the graduated steps and that the Blackhawks as an organization failed. They were derelict of duty in being able to, check some stuff in at the first sign of it. Now, somebody makes an allegation. Sometimes allegations aren't true. They're just allegations. But when you have a preponderance of evidence that, hey, man, this isn't just allegations, this guy has some issues, it's on you as the authority organization to really take some steps, not after the fact, after you've been caught, but even beforehand. Because again, as we've discussed before on the show, that an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. So hopefully this is the last of these types of things we'll see, because professional organizations throughout the sports diaspora, if you will take this as a lesson to say, hey, when we get allegations of out of order behavior, we're going to do a thorough investigation. And if there is smoke, we're going to find the fire, and we're going to go ahead and govern ourselves accordingly and take appropriate action before it gets to be out of hand like this appears to have been.
Well, I mean, Tim, Skip, I'm going to give y'all a list of situations similar to this. And I want you guys to just easily figure out what the correlation is. When we start talking about Penn State and Sandusky, we start talking about Michigan State with the gymnast and the football players. We start talking about what's going on here with hockey. We start talking about even Gruden with some of the stuff that he was out of order with. The correlation that you have here is that it's always white males exercising their white male privilege. And the bottom line on all of it is economics. We don't want to kill the golden goose. We can wreck a life or two or ruin somebody because these people are expendable. It doesn't matter that Sandusky raped little poor Black kids because they're expendable. It doesn't matter what happened to the gymnast at Michigan State because they're expendable. The bottom line is we want to keep making this money. And so what if we cause a few lives along the way? That's the correlation here. And Kim, you say that you hope that this is the end of this and that we're getting to the end. It seems like every month or so, something like this is coming up again where white male privilege is being exercised to the point where we can throw everybody else under the bus as long as the cash register keep ringing. And that's unfortunate, but that's the facts of these matter. Now, I'm not trying to sound like a racist. I'm just presenting evidence. It would be nice if we had white females doing this and, Black kids doing this or Black males doing this or Arab. I mean, it'd be different, but it seems like a lot of the high profile cases have the same elements. It has white male privilege and it has economic injustices that go on as far as making millions and millions of dollars and exploiting people. Normally people who are very athletic and creative, but not as strong financially and not as hooked into the network that they need to be hooked into. That's what I see here. Now, if it's going to stop, my guess is people will see some of these things that's happening now and think twice about it. But like you said, this person had a history of doing that. So obviously there's some things a little deeper under his skull that have to be taken care of, because these are just not surface issues. But it's just amazing how someone like this or people like this could go on for decades doing these type of things, and people keep looking the other way because the people that they're doing it to doesn't matter.
Yeah, just to give you context, the player that was assaulted was a former center, Kyle Beach, and the coach who did it was a video coach, Brad Aldridge. And he said, and I quote these words to him, "If you tell anybody you'll never play another hockey game in the NHL in your life," as he was assaulting the guy. So it's definitely a use of power or misuse of power to satisfy your own foolishness. And again, I agree with you in the fact that power abused never is good for the victims, because you no longer are a person. You're now an object or a thing or a means of satisfying whatever it is desire. The Bible talks about the lust of the flesh that I have. And that's really what this is about. So but let's just go on a different note, because that kind of brings you down and it makes you go, not again. Just not again. But hey,
Hey, Skip, if I could just add one more thing. I know the owner of the Blackhawks is now trying to get that person's name taken off the Stanley Cup, because his name is actually engraved on the Stanley Cup.
Right. Actually, I think they're trying to get the whole coaching staff, because the whole coaching staff knew.
Interesting.
So they're trying to get the whole coaching staff. So with that being said, listen. Well, man, Will, you've been to some Bucks games. I've been to some Bucks games. I am totally saddened at how the Bucks are looking right now. Because I looked at it, and the biggest problem that the Bucks have right now, they don't have a backup center. The Bucks. So if it ain't Brook out there, there's no center. Like just yesterday or Friday, they started Giannis's brother Thanasis at center.
I saw that. That was crazy.
They started him at center because we don't have a center. Giannis is now the tallest person on the team, and after that, the next tallest person is maybe 6'8". So I think the Bucks have now turned into maybe the shortest team in the league. And at this point, if we're going to win another championship, we got to get a center. We got to get a backup center from somewhere. And I know this. If the Lakers can get him for a dime a dozen, and we don't even need him to be offensive minded. We just need somebody to be a rim protector. Because right now, the only rim protector we have is Giannis, and he's averaging maybe 35 minutes a game. And when he's off of there, now it gets even smaller. Now it turns out to your biggest player is 6'6". That's the reason why we lost to Minnesota, because Big Cat was just killing us in the middle. And he was killing us because all I got to do, if I get the ball in the middle, I just got to turn around and drop it over a 6'8" cat. And then we lost Friday because of Pirtle. Pirtle's just like, and once the guys beat the defense, the first line of the defense, the guards, there's no shot blockers back there.
It's a layup drill.
And that's what it's been. And unless they make some trades to fix this, This is going to, and it's being exposed this early in the season. It's going to be a major problem come later on. And Brooke, this is the last year of his contract. So I'm seeing some major problems with this because, and Brooke has a back problem. It's a back problem. And back problems usually are the beginning of the end of your career in the league. So I'm just trying to figure out, and even the matchups that Bud is trying to put together. It seems like whenever he tries to we're already at a disadvantage. So you got to look at some of your players and say, listen, I'm going to have to get some more minutes out of you because I can't afford to go this deep in the bench and get shorter where I am. Giannis, we paying you $50 million a year. You're going to have to give us 40 minutes till Brooke come back. 40 to 42 minutes until Brooke come back because we have no other defensive stoppers other than you. We don't have any scoring in the middle other than you. Because now all the Bucks are doing is just laying back, shooting Jays, and they go for spurts that they're missing, 8 in a row. Just 8 in a row.
Yeah, they can't shoot. They can't shoot. It's killing them. They don't know how to shoot.
and they got Ojale, and I don't understand why he's there. I thought he was bigger than what he was. Ojale may be 6'6", but this cat is old for this season.
He is. He ain't made a free throw or shot. He missed all of them this whole season.
This whole season, he hasn't hit a jam. I'm going, this got to be fixed, and it's got to be fixed quickly because this is getting bad, and we don't have the ability to have this many losses in the Eastern Conference and still be in a position we want to be come playoffs. So something's got to be done with this team. And the first thing needs to be done is they need to figure out, make some trades, and get a backup center that can help the Bucks.
Well, Pastor, you there like I'm there. We looking at it live. One of the problems that the Bucks have is they've had injuries early in the season. When you have Brooke Lopez out, and you have
Bobby Portis.
Huh?
Bobby Portis.
Portis is out. That's our other bigger guy. He's out. Then you got the point guard is out. You got Devin. Yeah. Drew is out. DiVincenzo is out. You got guys that's at the end of the bench. You got Giannis brothers starting at center. There are some problems, but you guys remember in some earlier shows, I said the thing that the Bucks need the most is a backup center. If they don't get a backup center, they're gonna be in trouble. Because remember, I was trying to get the former Wisconsin center from Phoenix. Kaminsky. I was trying to get Frank the Tank. Y'all don't know if y'all remember me talking about that. And then Frank the Tank wound up re-signing with Phoenix. I said we should bring Frank the Tank home, and Frank the Tank would have been perfect to back up Lopez. But we didn't pull the trigger on it for whatever reasons. I say the jury is still out. One of the reasons why the Bucks is losing certainly is because they don't have a man in the middle. But the other reason why they losing is because these guards ain't scared of they scared of Drew Holiday. They know Drew Holiday can put them in jail and throw away the key. Right. They going against George Hill. They ain't worried about George Hill. You look at the last 3 games, the guards have had the best scoring of their season against the Bucks because Drew Holiday is gone. Plus, you watching the games and you see the flow. The Bucks flow is all jacked up because you don't have Holiday out there running the show. So I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt until they get healthy. They're getting healthier every day. Once we get the whole team back together, some of those guys who are playing heavy minutes won't even be playing. And some of those other guys who are in the starting lineup will be on that second unit. And I think that'll be a plus for us. But I agree with you, Skip. We need to start looking at the waiver wire or the G League or something, because we need to bring in a big body, because Lopez being gone is seriously exposing a big handicap in the Bucks team this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have to say that, because of the multitude of injuries that, Will just kind of delineated, that I'm not that pressed yet. Of course, we'd like to see them kind of run through the league and, start off 8-9-0, etc. But I am not too concerned. As a matter of fact, if we can stay within contention up through the All-Star break, which is when I think the next opportunity for us to make some major trades kind of can play on out, I think we'll still be in the mix. When we were the number 1 seed, when we were the big bad wolf of the league, we got unceremoniously punched out of the playoffs, before we got to the finals. When we were a little bit up under the radar screen, we were just kind of a so-called also ran. We were able to put together a historic championship season. So if they are taking some lumps right now, it'll be good for the entire organization to know that, hey man, you can't rest on your laurels. Last year's championship is last year. This is a new day. People are trying to punch y'all in the mouth now, and they ain't taking no shorts because you are shorthanded, not at your full contingent due to the injury. So having these other players getting in, measure up to see what they can or cannot do is going to be helpful for us in the long run. So long as we don't necessarily fall off the cliff and end up an under 500 team by 5 or 6 games come All-Star break, I think we'll still be in striking distance. And I do think we do need to add another player, this backup centerpiece, because we want to have some depth at that position. But I do believe we do have an opportunity to still do that. And push come to shove, if we don't pull that off, but if we can get all the way healthy, I still like our chances as the favorites in the East if we can survive this first somewhat rocky start to the season and stay within contention by All-Star break. I think we'll still be good.
Well, don't look now, but I just seen the defensive player of the year walking down the street. So they're gonna be tangling with the Bucks without Brook Lopez. So you can expect a banner performance from the Frenchman. So it's not gonna get any easier.
Right. I tell you what, just staying with the league, man. I want to say this because I have to. I said when they came out of college that this player was going to be better than the other one. I said Ja Morant was going to be a much better player.
Tim, you knew he was gonna say that, didn't you?
Yeah, I ain't mad, and I'm ready for the conversation.
All right, go ahead then, Pastor. Go ahead.
I said he was going to be better, and you're like, no, Zion. He's a super athlete. He's going to make it happen. Zion has not been producing. He's kind of looking sort of oldenish. He's injured every year since he's been in the league. And now he's requesting a trade. He don't want to be in New Orleans no more. And he's ballooned up to $3 billion. Ja Morant, on the other hand, is giving you 30 any given night easily.
He's second in the league in scoring, amazingly enough.
Mm-hmm.
And he is running that team so efficiently that I am completely impressed by him and what he's doing. But I kind of knew it because the difference in the two is Zion needs somebody to get him the ball to score. And Ja does it. Ja creates his own shot. And Zion doesn't seem to have that. And it doesn't seem like he's created a go-to shot either. And so I'm looking at him and I'm watching. His stock was so high when he came out. And maybe it's just me, but I'm watching it drop. Before you couldn't watch the TV and not see a Zion commercial. Now you ain't seeing them same commercials as much. You don't see a Zion Nike out. You don't see he signed with Nike. He signed with Jordan, as a matter of fact. But you don't see his shoe out there. I'm going, okay, what is this? And he hasn't made his team better either. And so I'm gonna just throw that out there, and I'll let y'all go from there.
I'll jump in first. Ja Morant is the truth. He is nice. He's good. That's no knock against Zion Williamson, though. Zion came out and he was all that he was billed to be. He's with an organization that might not have been as stable and solid as one would have thought. Anthony Davis was with that same organization, and he wanted to bail out of that joint and ended up bailing out. Some of the things that we see going on with Zion Williamson might be, the results of, okay, let me go ahead and put this in, not that it's advisable, but let me go ahead and put this in a situation where I have to force my hand. As far as his injuries are concerned, that first year, he wasn't, to me, as injured as they made him out to be. The organization made a political decision saying, hey, we're going to shut it down. for the rest of the year and you're going to get limited minutes, that's just our decision. And anybody that's been employed somewhere has been with an employer that they thought was out of order and handling them wrong, but they couldn't go buck wild because the boss was the boss. And either you're going to lose your job because you snapping, or you're going to have some level of conformity and keep getting your every 2-week checks. That's what that first year was about. And he still averaged 20 plus and close to, if not 10 boards a game, even during that. Last year, he came in also playing with another player who is an all-star on his squad in Brandon Ingram. It was a function to me of his personality, not being a ball hog like Kobe, saying, y'all can kiss my butt. I'm going to do my thing. And I'm going to the hole. And I'm jacking up shots every time. He was deferring to his guy. Hey, man, I ain't going to be no troublemaker. I could average 30. I could be the second or leading scorer in the league, but I got my teammate here. I ain't trying to cause no drama. I'm going to be a cool guy because I'm cool like that. Do your thing, bro. I'll just get mine whenever I can. And in him getting his whenever he could, he still averaged 20 and some change and close to 10 rebounds a game. Him ballooning to close to 300 pounds now is unfortunate. He still has the potential to be the bomb. And as far as his handle being able to create his own shot, I disagree. He can create his own shot, so much so to where the coach put the ball in his hands and let him run point because he can handle the ball so well. That doesn't take anything away from Ja. Ja is doing this thing. He's being ridiculous. He is clowning. I am saying, though, that all the hype that Zion Williamson got prior to the season, he's still worth all of that. I still think both of them still have a lot of career left, and the jury is still out. It's a matter of which one is one's favorite player.
I'm going to add this and then we'll close. But Shaq did an interview on why he gained all that weight. And he gained all that weight under Phil Jackson's advice. Because Phil told him, you got to be strong enough to be able to punish those that are trying to punish you. So you give off all the pain when they're bumping against you versus you being injured during all this stuff. So Phil wanted him to gain the weight for the playoffs so he could punish cats in the playoffs. So Kobe might not have liked it, but Phil's like, this is what's going to win us these championships. You being the most dominant player in the league. And so that's what that came out to be. But listen, another great show. I'm so excited about what's going on, fellas. It is hoop season, and I am ready to go. So with that being said, once again, thank you for tuning in to the #1 faith-based sports talk show in the entire world, Into His Courts. You can catch us at 98.7 FM and also every Tuesday from 7 to 7:30 p.m. Meet us right here, Joy 1340 AM. Until next week, have an amazing week. Peace.
Big ups to the Packers for that major win, being down the top 2 receivers, killing the Arizona Cardinals. Good job, Pack. Peace.
Peace.